peace and serenity. I am Satra Niteret Kefa Abe Manuk Ma'at, and welcome to Raising the Feminine Principle. Before I start, I would like to give my honor and thanks to my elders who have come before me, who has helped guide me along the way, through their lives, through their ups and downs, through their suffering and pain and their joys. I have learned from them. To our ancestors who have left us and left us behind with something to remember, to be able to guide us through, to show us the way, and to show us what to do and what not to do, I give thanks and honor to you. To our teachers who have been here along the way, that we read and study under at different parts of our lives, I give thanks to you, Queen Afua, Ra Unafur Ahmed, Haru Uncle Samaj, and many other great teachers that are out there. This episode, this show is going to be about spiritual intimacy. There have been many who have seen the video that I have done on my YouTube channel that is titled Spiritual Intimacy, and there are many who have not. I felt that it was time to speak on what this means and how this affects us, especially as sisters, as women, no matter what title that we have acquired in our lives. To understand what spiritual intimacy is, it's more than anyone having physical sex with each other, a time of what we call a penetration of body to body. Spiritual intimacy is much more than people sitting down and having a conversation and drinking a cup of tea or coffee, watching a movie. Spiritual intimacy is far beyond romance and flowers and music that makes you sway back and forth and make you think of all the wonderful things that society and the movies and the books that we read about that got our blood boiling and thinking about all these things of being next to that beautiful, tall or short or muscular brother that we come across. Spiritual intimacy is so much more than that. We as sisters, we have to learn about ourselves. We have to learn that we can't just give ourselves to anybody. You have to first know who you are as a sister, as a woman, so that when you come across that brother, no matter who he is, that you know that he is the brother for you. That as you know that you stand as where you are, that you are a queen, and not that you are a queen because you have melanin, but because you are a queen because you have earned the right to be called so. You have lived the life. You have made the choices. You have gone through the suffering and the pain of the life that we live. Whether you are a mother, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a cousin, a friend, it's understanding who you are. When you make that decision that you want to be intimate with a man, with a brother, he should be that king that is the balance to you as a queen. He should be that God that is the balance of you as a goddess. A lot of us do not understand that. We follow all these sensations that we feel, and we follow the touch, one of the senses that we have, and we make that the main sense that we have. We allow ourselves to get caught up in these romance novels and these books and these movies and wanting our lives to be like that. Just wanting a man to hold you and touch you. And there's more to that than just having someone to just be next to you. The man that you choose to come into your heaven's gates, as my spiritual twin once told me, that when he comes to you, he should be able to say, this is home. This is my home. How many brothers have truly said that to you and meant it? Brothers, how many sisters have come to you and said that to you? We have turned intimacy or sex into something meaningless, and it's just and sex is something that animals do. They do that to mate. And it's not because they're doing it because they something that feels good to them. They're doing it because this is what is natural in their habitat, in the animal kingdom, in their environment. But we're much more than that. We have been given the will of choosing our lives in the directions that we want to go. If we want to choose to follow by the lower side of our beings or the higher spiritual side of who we are. Sisters, when you take that time to get to know a brother, you know, we have truly missed that time frame where we would have our families meet the man and get to know the man. And yes, the father should have that time to grill him to see, is this man good enough for my daughter? Can he walk with my daughter? Will he walk with my daughter? And when my daughter gives him the gift or shares her gift with him, is he deserving of that gift that she is sharing with him? Or sisters, are you giving your gift away? Because that's what a lot of us are doing. I can speak on this because there was a time in my life where I gave so much of myself. I gave my body to a man or men who did not deserve it. But because I wanted that moment of touch and feeling and thinking that because of how love was described to us growing up, that this is what I want to have and this is what I want to feel. So maybe if I open my legs to them because they find this something of fun and enjoyment and it makes the man want to come to you, that this is what you feel like you must do for yourself. This is what you feel like you must do for this man. Or for this boy, depending on how old you are. And we don't understand that it's good that you're not that you're not having sex with a man. That you're not openly giving yourself to someone who's not deserving of the gift that you share within you. Because you must understand that what you share is so much deeper than the physical bond and connection that you get out of that. Just like we learned in school that especially when you are having unprotected sex with another person, you don't know who that other person has been with. And so physically you're passing fluids around over and over and over again. The brother could have been with 5 of the girls. The sisters could have been with 5 of the guys. And together y'all have been with 10 people. When it's just 2 people sitting there. But that's just that surface reason. Those are those surface things that you see where diseases can come from. Sexually transmitted diseases. Where AIDS can come from. Where unwanted pregnancies come from. These are all those physical things, those surface issues. But what happens spiritually? Do you not know that when you're sitting next to a person that you're exchanging energies all day long? You're sharing a bit of yourself all day long? But when you decide to be intimate with a man, that you are sharing your spirit and your past and all your hurt and all your pain and all your joys and all your excitements with this man, and he's doing the same to you? There is so much more to intimacy than that. Sisters, he should be more than just a beautiful, handsome brother that may have everything that you may want. He may have all the materialistic things that you feel that is important, that we are taught that is important. And it really isn't. There is more to a man than just somebody having a nice car, having a good job, or what we call a good job. Keep his hair neat. He smells good. He keeps his fingers clean and he got nice clean teeth. There's so much more to a black man than that. And yes, I'm saying a black man, because I must stress on our brothers and our sisters and what we're doing to ourselves. You have to be able to look beyond the physical features and the materialistic things that they have. Because once that door closes and it's just you and him, that is it. That's all that it is you and him. The car is no longer there. The clothes is no longer there. The money that you think has value is not there. It's just you and him. Flesh against flesh. Spirit with spirit. Energy flowing back and forth. There are times where you have to understand. You may luck up to have a man that is just beautiful beyond compare. Has no hatred within him whatsoever. Has respect for his sisters. He loves his mother divinely. But what about the energy that you share? What are you sharing with him? Do you feel the same way towards your parents, towards your brothers, to yourself? There's just so much that we're transferring every day, all day long, and we just don't see it. There's so much more to spiritual intimacy that is beyond thought. You have to know the man that you're talking to. You need to sit down and just wait it out with him. Talk to him to understand his mind and what he's thinking about. How he sees you as a woman. Listen to how he talk about another sister if he sees her act a certain way about herself. Does he call her a bitch? Does he call that chick a hoe down the street? Because if he says that, but he's not saying it to you, but he's saying that about another sister, know that somewhere along the way he's saying that about you, somewhere in his mind, or maybe to one of his brothers. You have to listen. There's always warning signs of who you're with. Brothers, it's the same thing. There's always warning signs of the sisters that you're with. We so choose not to listen to the spirit when it speaks to us. Excuse me. Drinking hot chamomile tea is very soothing. When the true spiritual intimacy comes, when you have met that one, when you have found that one who is you, who is all of who you are. When you can sit down in a room and have a conversation with them, and y'all don't have to talk about sex. It won't even come up in conversation. But when y'all can sit in a room and talk about the Creator, not about talking about the Bible, not about talking about religion, not about talking about politics. When you can sit in a room and then give praise and worship to that which created you and share that love and bond with him. When he can see the goddess that is you and you can see the God that is him. When you can sit there quietly in a room and don't even have to have conversation, but the silence speaks volumes. When you can sit there and you truly do find him as home, and he finds you as home. You know that this man is showing himself to be welcome into your gates. Because not all men should be just welcome to your gates. You should not have many men coming to you and through you. Because that turns you into something that you don't want to be, a label that you don't want to have and you should not have. You, as the black sister, you are the beginning of creation. You are the life. You give life. You share life. You birth the children that this man has put his seed into you so that y'all can be able to grow and keep our generations going and over and over and over again. Sisters, you are that moon to him. that keeps that light going in the dark when he is in his darkest hour of his time in his life, because our black men don't have it easy. They're in struggles every day, but so are you. And as much as I would love to touch on my brothers and their struggles right now, this is about my sisters. I know that you go through your struggles. I know that you want that man next to you. I know that you want to feel the presence of that masculine energy next to you. You want to wake up in the morning with him making coffee for you, or pouring you some orange juice, giving you a bowl of fruit in the morning, and having to know that you got that warm-blooded brown caramel, vanilla, chocolate colors that are just laying right next to you. And when you open your eyes, you see his eyes looking at you. He's smiling. I know, sisters, that you want that. For the sisters who grew up with only their mom and their father was gone. For the ones who grew up and they were the only child. For the ones who grew up that had the issues that they had to deal with in their families because of the father. Whether they were the absent father, whether they were abusive father, maybe they were molesting type father. Maybe they were highly religious in the way that they treated you. And we're missing out on that connection that we had with our fathers to help us and to show us what a man is looking for in that woman. And we only can learn, as women, we only can learn what a man is looking for through another man. And we're supposed to learn that from our father. But a lot of us don't have that. And so we're looking for that in our brothers. Some of us are blessed and fortunate to find that in brothers that become our friends. And those that truly care about us will teach us and share with us. But there's so many who won't. And let you walk right into the fire. That won't even care. But you're going to have to find a way to learn to care for yourself. Not all of us are going to be blessed to have that father figure in our lives. Not all of us are going to be blessed to have that beautiful man by our side every day. But you have to make sure that the man that is by your side is the one that is true to you. The one that is made for you. The one that respects you. The one that when he wakes up in the morning, he sees the God. He sees the goddess. He sees the sun, and the sun is you, because you are the light. You are the light that shines in his heart. You are the light that shines in his mind. You are the blood that runs deep through his body, that keeps his heart pumping. If you are not that woman to him, then why are you there? Spiritual intimacy, my sister, spiritual intimacy comes from this. Of that pure connection, that divine love and that peace that comes with that. That is what Amen means. Amen in the Kemetic tradition, it means a peace that is undisturbed. That is the divine love that a black woman should have with a black man. And when they come together as one, when they come together as the spirit wants to connect to the next spirit, because you, as I am the feminine principle of that spirit, and he is the masculine principle of that spirit, that when you two come together, it's like electricity, it's like fire burning. If the sensation should be beyond the physical touch. But that's what the spirit does. The spirit that wants to connect to the other spirit, because it's divine, it's in order, that when they come together physically, that is just an expression that the spirit is having. And that's the way that the spirit can be able to express its divine love and connection to the other half of who you are. Most of us do not know what spiritual intimacy is. Sex is sex is sex. Making love is sex. There is no such thing as making love. Who came up with that? I don't know. But that is yet another distraction to our sisters and our brothers when we are coming together as one. Making love is not about candles and incense burning. It's not, making love is not about going slow and touching somebody and caressing them here and there and doing things like that they wouldn't do with other people. That's not making love. That's still sex. It's just doing sex, just having sex slowly. Making love has nothing to do with the spirit. Making love has nothing to do with God. Has nothing to do with any attribute of the One Most High. We must understand what these differences are. My sisters, you are so special. You don't even realize that you are. You don't realize that you are the queen. You are the queen of your home. You are the queen of this land that we call our bodies. You are the queen mother of the child that has come through these gates. You are the queen of the land that you walk on. You don't have to be from Africa to be a queen. You don't have to walk on the motherland to be a queen. The fact that you can put your foot onto the ground and you can move your legs and walk, you are that queen. The struggles that you have gone through, you are that queen. The pain and suffering that you have gone through, you are that queen. Excuse me. We want so bad to feel and to want, and not willing to wait. We're willing to go through the process of schools, go through the process after graduation and go to a college. We do 4 years in college, and then some of us who go off and go to graduate school because they want to be a doctor or a lawyer, and they do these different things. And then they're willing to be patient with that so they can get that degree, that piece of paper that tells them that they are something, that they are something to society, and they can become something and be able to buy the things they want to buy and to buy the big houses and the cars and so on. But you're not willing to wait for divine love. You're not willing to wait to who comes in between your legs into the gateways of heaven. You're not willing to wait for that. There's so many issues now that the female body is going through. The more that her vagina goes through with men coming in and out of it, the more that her womb is being harmed by all the different abortions that they experience, the sex and the abuse in the sex, women being raped. There's so much that the female goes through, the female mind, the female body, the female heart. We have to be right and ready for ourselves, and we have to be right and ready for the men that is waiting for us so they can come into heaven. No women, that men, no matter if they're having sex with you, they truly want a woman that they can connect to every day. That when they come home, they can come home to something that they can smile about. They don't want to come home to something to an argumentative woman. But brothers, you must understand that the argumentative woman, she's in pain also. So you must learn what that pain is. And if you're not willing to learn what that pain is, then you need not to be with her. And sister, if you're not willing to find out what his pains are and to help him through his pains, you should not be with each other, because when he is in pain and she is in pain, then know that when y'all two come together, that's not love. Y'all coming together in fear and hurt and pain and suffering. How can you find intimacy in that? Breakup sex, angry sex, all these things that's been taught to us that we accept into our lives and accept into our beings every day. What have we become? We have allowed ourselves to act nothing more than just beasts. When we are truly spirit, the existence of who we are is spirit. Our expression of the spirit comes through the physical realm. Sisters, when you are spiritually intimate, make sure that you're spiritually intimate with the balance that is you. If you truly know that you are the queen that walks this earth, then the only one that should come into your gateways is the king that walks by your side on this earth. And if you know that you are a Netert, which is a goddess, then know that the only one spiritually that can connect to you in any way is the Neter, which is a god. That is where spiritual intimacy comes from. Connecting spiritually, connecting to the mind, connecting to the body without even having penetration. And then when that time comes, you know that it is spiritual intimacy. It is nothing less and nothing more. I would like to give thanks for my sister Hadassah Israel, where I am in here, Patterson, New Jersey, staying in her house, helping her spiritually through her things that she is going through. And this is a part of my time of traveling around wherever the Spirit sends me, so that I may help my sisters out in their woes and their pain and their suffering, and to help them to understand spiritually what they're going through. I also like to give thanks to so many people who have done so much in the lives of the females around us, the life and journey that I'm in currently. I give thanks to everybody who was a part of my life, who was in my cipher. For all of you, whether you were here yesterday and you're not here today, or the ones that are coming in today and is going to be here tomorrow, you're all a part of my journey as I'm a part of yours. Again, I'd like to give honor and praises to Haru Angra Samaj and his business, Studio of Vita in Brooklyn, New York. I ask that you take the time to go to his page on Facebook. He also has a website. He has done many works of many different people. Erykah Badu is one of them, where he has done her unk ring, that beautiful gold unk ring that she wears. Wesley Snipes is also one of the people that he has done an unk pendant for, and many other people, many other different stars, people who are not stars, but what we would consider everyday people that we talk to. He does his creations through the deity and the principle of Vita, the creator of all. Through that, I know that this may be seen weird, and this will be my first video that I do not have my ring on, nor do I have my pendant to represent that, and I do apologize for that. I normally have that on, but I felt that it was just truly time to be able to talk about specific things and to help my sisters out in many different areas. I would like to say that if you have any questions about anything, that whether it's about this particular segment that I spoke about, spiritual intimacy, why the things that why you're going through the events that you're going through in your life, your relationship with your mate or your friends, your family, your mother, your father, and so on, and to get a better understanding of why these things are happening by the root and how it's affecting spiritually in your life and your journey, please feel free to email WNWP-TV and let them know, so that I can be able to respond to your questions. Hopefully we'll get to a point where you can be able to call in and ask questions based off of the segment or the show that I'm doing. But please feel free to ask any questions that you need asked, and that you want to, if possibly I can do my best to give you answers on. I do not know everything. I am not perfect, but I can do my best to answer your questions the best way that I can. And to let you know that when I speak and I answer the questions, the Spirit guides me. And being that I live and I speak and I breathe Ma'at, as my name is Kefa Abe Menuk Ma'at, which means one who is firmly committed to living truth and divine law, that when I speak to you, know that it's not coming just from me. I'm the vessel that is being used, but know that the Spirit speaks to you through me to help you through what you're going through and to help you to understand what you're going through. I'd like to give thanks again to WNWP TV for allowing Raising the Feminine Principle to be here. Thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Ma'at Hotep.